Louise here from Crazy Borgies. I hope you're all fine and well on this Saturday morning. Today's video is going to be a Flosstube video. So this video is going to be in response to a comment from Lisa. She said to me, she made a comment on my Flosstube video about the lucky rabbits. I think it was a completion video, asking me if I cross stitch in hand or on hoops or frames, and I said to her that I would make a video about it. So this is what this video is in reply for. So first things first, if you are new to my channel, then please like, comment, subscribe, share and follow me on TikTok and Instagram. It is Crazy Borgies Diamond Art. Okay, so the one that we are going to be cross stitching on today is this one. I hope you can see it. It is November and it is in Fall style. I can never say that word. So we have all the leaves, a nice cup of coffee or hot chocolate, whatever it is, and it just says November and thankful up the top. Always got to be thankful. And this one was sent to me in a PR pack from Biggest Craft. So huge thank you to them for this one. I did order the Christmas theme one, but they obviously didn't have it, so they sent me Halloween one out, but I'm not really too keen on Halloween. I don't celebrate it. We don't celebrate it in our family. But yeah, so I decided to do this one. So, and also the other things you're going to need for if you're cross stitching in hand. Sorry, I don't know where to look here because the camera's up there, but I'm looking at the buttons. And anyway, so yeah, basically if you're going to cross stitch in hand, I would recommend getting some pegs. Now you can use washing line pegs that you peg clothes out to dry. Make sure they're dry, obviously, the pegs. And I bought these off Amazon. So they are tiny little pegs. I think there's probably about 50 or 60 in there, maybe more. And basically, yeah, you just use them once it comes into focus. Come on, focus. You just use them to clip the fabric down. Or if worst case scenario you don't have pegs or anything like that, you could use hair clips, bobby pins, anything that you use to tie anything back or hold anything back. You could even use one of those, you know, those claw things that you use to tie your hair up. You could use one of those. Sorry. And I will tell you also about all my dramas that I've had. I've had quite a few dramas. I've lost my glasses. As you can see, I've not got my glasses because I took the kids swimming and lost my glasses at the swimming pool, and it's just long. I'm just like, it's another expense. It's just I should come with a warning, guys. Instead of saying faith, it should just say warning. Anyway, so this is what this video is going to be about today. So please grab your coffee, your cross stitch, and stitch along with me. Okay? Right. So first things first, before stitching, I like to roll up the canvas a bit, just to make it a bit more softer and pliable, because obviously you don't know how long it's been in its packaging for. You'll have to excuse all the mess over there. And you know, it's always good to do this, because just like canvases, the Ada cloth can be very stiff, which is good if you are working in a frame, but if you're not and you're working in hand, it can be a bit uncomfortable after a while. So we're just going to keep splashing it around basically, because it gets washed anyway once you've completed it. So, well, not washed, but put in some lukewarm water. So just do that. There, that's it. Okay, right, so I usually start somewhere in the corner, so maybe that side or that side. Usually that side. So I would probably roll this, well yeah, I'd roll this side like so. Get some of my handy dandy clips. Just 2, depending on how big the Ada cloth is. Now for this one I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the yellow back stitch at the moment, because not the back stitch, the yellow symbol part, because it's white, and because it's on white Ada cloth it's not going to really make that much of a difference. I think that is something that I will possibly decide at the end of stitching everything else. If it was black it would be different, because it'd make it pop out more, but it's not, it's white, so I just don't see the purpose of it really. So I'm just going to turn you, because obviously I'm going to be stitching like that. Okay, right, so my first symbol, let's get my grid out, my chart, is gonna be, what am I gonna start with? I think I will start with number 14 perhaps, which is 817, and it is a similar shade to the colour. So here, I think I'm going to start with this one, which is up here, and do some of the border, maybe some of the letters as well actually. So we can see number 14. So always have your chart handy as well, so you can double reference, because when it is rolled like this you won't be able to see the chart on the Ada cloth. So this is an 11 count, and it is, there's no back stitch, it's just full cross stitch. How many colours does it have? 26, and it is 126 stitches by 126. So here we go, let's just keep it on the side that I am going to be working on, which is that side. There we go. So we want number 14. Number 14? Yes, I did. Number 14. So with this kit you get a little thimble as well. I might use that today, and a real generous amount of needles actually as well. So once again, a huge thank you to Biggest Craft, because I am terrible with my needles, guys. I just break them all the time. I don't know why. It's just the way I am. Okay, so we're going to grab a needle. we're going to grab our thimble and our threader as well. This is what this is for, to help us thread the needle, so we're not there all day trying to get the thread in the needle and not cross stitching. So I think I will put this on this finger because this is the one that I usually push down with. You can use it on your thumb, you can use it here, it really does not matter where. Let's get threads out, the floss. Number 14 is a gorgeous reddish colour here. You will hear talking in the background because my children are in the room with me as well while I'm making this video. So just bear that in mind, please. And the parrot is actually quite calm at the moment, but obviously I can't guarantee she's going to stay that way, because Rio being Rio can be a bit unpredictable. So I'm just getting my floss ready here. This is gorgeous red colour, and because it's an 11 count, it means we have to separate the floss into 3 strands. So we take them out one at a time, because otherwise they can get a bit tangled, and I'm lethal. I have so many fights with the tangles getting the floss out, it's just ridiculous. I've got the fan blowing as well, so there's 2 strands. Where's the third one gone? Down there. And then we have to try and get them all the same length. As possible, because we don't want to waste our floss and then risk running out. So there we go. Now if it was a 14 count I wouldn't bother so much, not in the end, but because it is an 11 count I'm going to put a knot in the end. Also, if you do get a lot of tangles in your floss, you can use wax, or just a little bit of water and just run it through, only a tiny amount though. I find that helps. Okay, right, so we put our needle like so. Hang on a second because it's gone a bit. Shh, 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 guys, come on. So we get our floss and we thread it through like so. Okay, and now we're ready to begin. Where did I just write? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you up a bit more now. There we go. So you can see I am starting on this symbol here, this orangey symbol. Could you just open the curtain a bit for me, love? Car. So with our first stitch, our anchor stitch, I like to flip it over and just double secure it. This thing keeps blowing at me, this fan, guys. There. Is it secured? There we go. So it's double secured now. I had to start again because I got a bit distracted then by kiddies making silly noises behind me. It's not the easiest to film when we've got little ones at home. Might have to tell them to go upstairs in a minute. There. Okay, right. I'm going to bring you a bit lower down. Oops, there we go. That's better. Can see now a bit better. I'm going in there. So. Actually, I just realised I went wrong again. See, my mind is not there today, guys. Right. Come on now, I'm trying to film over here, guys. Oh, they've left the room now, guys, so I should be able to focus a bit more. It's really difficult trying to film when you've got little ones in the room with you. Really difficult, actually. They really, you know, just little noises they make and that. Very distracting. And they're playing on their technology, making silly noises. Oh jeez, it does my brains in, I tell ya. Have I gone wrong there? No, I haven't. I've gone wrong here. Oh, let's see. That's it. and going like this. Gonna do my lazy stitching today, I think, where I do 2 at a time. A lot of the times when you make mistakes as well, it is just that you're in the wrong position. I find you could be holding the Ada in the wrong way, or it's just basically finding a position that you are comfortable in. There we go. This is how I stitch when I'm feeling a bit meh. It's basically stitching where your next stitch is. Basically you're coming out where your next stitch is starting from, and you can get your work a lot faster. You know, you can make progress a lot quicker with it. And also I find that it helps me make sure all my stitches are facing the right way as well. But it took me ages to learn how to do this technique. There's numerous ways of doing it. But you can see if you do the bulk of them and half stitch and then work back on yourself, how quick you get into a rhythm. And instead of bringing the needle out through the other side twice, you're only bringing it through once. Although I would say, because the symbol is the same colour, it's a lot easier. Always make sure that you go underneath the second line here of floss, if that makes sense. And someone said to me as well, you know, if you make a mistake, that's what makes your work unique. And that's a good way to look at it, because we're not machines, we're not robots. You know, we are going to make errors and mistakes, but it's not a big deal. You can either leave it or you can amend it, but whatever, as long as you are happy. And you don't have to tell anyone your mistake, because if they're not a cross stitcher, they're not going to know, are they, really? So, but you know, you don't have to buy those little clips to stitch in hands. You don't need to buy expensive hoops. It is what you make it. There's this technique I will show you as well, where you just go the stabbing motion. Whoops, I've gone through the same hole. Stabbing motion like that. Let's see how many stitches I have got done here. Yes, I do have to go back on myself, and I will show you how. Using this method, I'll go back on myself. Just Getting more floss now. I want to get to halfway down this floss before heading back on myself. My cousin has just started cross stitch as well now. She was asking me how, if it's easy once you get going, and I would say yeah, it is. You know, it's what you make of it. Some people love it, some people hate it. Me, I'm now beginning to really enjoy cross stitch. It took me a while to get there, but I'm there now. Although I'm not keen on the 14 count unless it's a small image. If you're following me on Instagram or TikTok, you'll see I posted yesterday a bit of my poinsettia flower that I was doing, and that's a 14 count. So I'm now coming down to practically halfway now of this border. Whoops, I've gone wrong. And there's no, you know, you go wrong, you go wrong. You just go back, fix it, or not. It's up to you. Not a big deal. No one's going to be perfect, especially not on my channel. Especially when you've lost your glasses as well. But luckily I don't need my glasses for cross stitch. I need it mainly for driving, which is a bit of a concern. It's my own fault. I should have listened to my eldest. She said to me, go back, Mum, and I was like, no, I'm tired, because my legs were killing me. I walked up and down that pool about 50 times. Because as I said, my daughter, she don't really swim yet. So she just does being autistic. She has a routine. She literally jumps in one end, walks up to the other end, jumps, gets out, jumps in again, and then goes back to the starting point again. And that's basically like for a whole hour. So my legs, by the end of it, whew, they felt so heavy. And I was starving as well, because we didn't have dinner until later. Right, so I'm now coming up to halfway down the floss, so I'm going to start heading back on myself when I come to the end of this box. Now, see what I've done there? I've gone through the top hole instead of coming to the bottom hole here. Then I'm going back now. There we go. Now we're going along. We're using the stabbing motion to go the other way now. To go, hang on, see, even me, I have to stop and think, where am I going? I'm going up to the top here. If I can find my hole, there we go. No, that was wrong. There we go. That's it. Always just double check that floss is nice and tight, okay? Not too tight, but you want a nice tension on it. I'm going to go nice and slow for this part now. Try not to go through the floss that is going down. Have I missed a stitch there? I think I did, didn't I? No, I'm on that stitch, that's why. Yeah, try not to go through the floss. You might need to bend the Ada slightly, like so. I'm going to slow it right down now. Yes. It's okay, you can talk, I'll edit it out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I think I can fix this. It's a bit of a small hole.
Oh gosh. So I'm slowing it down here. So you're going through the bottom left and then up to the next through the bottom right up to the next top left point, if that makes sense. So you're going through the bottom right of the square as you're looking at it and up to the next top right, and once you get it, once it clicks in your brain, you will see it is very, very fast and you will get a lot more stitches done. But you know, everyone stitches differently. As long as all of the stitches are facing the right way, that's all that matters. Okay, so as you can see, I have done quite a lot in the half stitch all the way down, and now I'm going to show you how to go back on yourself using the same technique. Okay, so I always do it to about half of one length of floss in half stitch and then go back on myself. Okay, so threading my needle now. If I go quiet, that means I'm concentrating. Where's my needle threader? That probably would help, wouldn't it? Where's it gone? There it is. Okay. Whoops. Like that. And then that through, like so. Okay. So starting off down here, we're going to go back on ourselves to make it into a full stitch. Zoom up a bit more so you can see a bit more of what I'm doing. And remember, this is what's known as the stabbing technique, as it's like a stabbing motion. So I'm going to go nice and slow here. So you're basically focusing on coming out through the hole that the next stitch is starting from, okay? And once you get it, you will find that you can pick up quite a pace and get a lot of stitching done. Some people don't like this technique. I don't mind it. It can twist some of the floss to make it a bit bulkier a stitch than usual, but as long as you keep your tension not too tight, it should come out fine. Okay. The only thing I would say is if you're a beginner like myself, it's quite easy to miss a stitch using this technique. So always be mindful to stop and double check yourself, like so. Okay. So you're just focusing on coming out the same hole that the next stitch is going to start from. So the bottom left to the top right of the next, bottom right to the top left of the next stitch. I hope I'm not confusing you too much here, guys. It's just double checking myself there. Be careful doing it this way because you can pick up quite a pace doing it, and then that's when you're likely to miss a stitch. But you can get a lot of stitching done, lot more progress, I'll say. Just be mindful not to go through the floss that is already laying in the opposite direction. So you just want to focus getting your needle through the hole and not the floss with it, okay? I hope I am explaining this well and not confusing too many people out there, because I don't want to confuse you guys. If you're anything like me, it's easy to get confused. I'm confused.com the majority of my life, I tell you. Okay. There's pros and cons to doing it this way. Yes, you get a lot more of your stitching done. You get further along the stitching progress. But the downside is that sometimes you may need to adjust, go back and just adjust your stitches a bit more. Just because the floss tends to get a bit more twisted, I find. I got distracted there. last few stitches coming up now. Whoops, dropped my needle. And there we go. So I've just noticed I've missed a stitch, so I'm going to show you how to fix that now. Where is it? Down there, down the bottom here. Just say I've missed one. Where is it? There. This one. So it is a lot easier to miss a stitch when doing a large area like this. So as I said, and then when you go back on it, just straighten them a bit. There we go. But that is the quick way to cross stitch. Okay. Now, I'm going to get my scissors, if I can find them. Could you just get my scissors from over there, please? And I'll show you how to, because we don't really want to unpick all this work for just one stitch. It's pointless, you know. So I'll show you quickly how I would just cast off from here. And go back and oh, what am I doing? I can't think today, you know. Come on. There. Come on. There we go. There. Okay, so let's cast off from here. So cut that tail off and cut that tail off as well. Make it look a lot neater on the back, as you can see. Gives like a rope effect. Okay. And on the front I think it gives like a rope effect as well, actually. Right, where's that stitch again? Down here. Okay, so we've only got one stitch here that I obviously skipped past. So with this bit of floss, I'll just put a little hole in it. Knot in it, sorry. And then just fix it and you would never know the difference. So I'm just going to come through the back end like so. And over like so, flip it over again, and then what we do is we get this floss and we just make sure that it is in the knot of in the loop of our cast off knot, like so, to hold it down, and go through it a few times, okay, because we need to make sure that that 1/2 stitch is not gonna come off anytime soon, like so. So nice and tight, and then just cut off that bit. and that'll be fine, and then you won't notice any difference. Okay. As I said, some people don't like the way that the crosses lie when you use this technique. Me personally, I don't mind it. It's still a cross. A cross is a cross, so to speak. There. So as you can see, I've got, you know, a lot further along using that fast stitch process. And it's still rolled up perfectly intact, like so. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's been a bit long-winded and I've had to stop and start and edit it and all the rest of it, but you know, with kiddies at home, as I've explained, it's not the easiest to film. It's not the easiest time of year for me to film, let's just say that. So if you like my content, then please give me a thumbs up to let me know that I'm doing a-okay. And if you have any questions, then please leave your comments in the description. Please leave your questions in the comment section, and I will try to get back to them as quickly as possible. And yeah, just like, subscribe, comment and share. Okay guys, so take care, God bless, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now. Bye.